Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into a really interesting question about Apple's desktop lineup. Will we actually see an M5 Mac Mini, or even an M5 Pro Mac Mini, in the next couple of years? Apple recently gave the Mac Mini a huge refresh with the M4 and M4 Pro chips along with its first major redesign in nearly 15 years. But now the big question is, what's next? Could Apple roll out an M5 powered version as early as 2025, delay things until 2026, or even skip directly to the M6? In this video, we'll explore all the current leaks and predictions, including possible CPU and GPU upgrades, RAM and storage improvements, pricing expectations, and of course the most likely release timeline. By the end, you'll have a clear idea of where the Mac Mini could be heading in the M5 generation. So grab a drink, hit that like button if you enjoy following Apple rumors, and let's get into it. Where the Mac Mini stands today. Right now, the Mac Mini lineup is powered by the M4 and M4 Pro chips, which launched in late 2024. That release was huge not just for performance, but because Apple finally redesigned the Mini for the first time in well over a decade. The new version is about half the size of the previous chassis, more compact and modern, and starts at just $599 for the M4 base model. That entry-level configuration comes with 16 gigabytes of unified memory and 256 gigabytes of storage, a solid deal in today's market. Because Apple just introduced this redesign, it's extremely unlikely we'll see another external overhaul anytime soon. Historically, Apple tends to keep one desktop design around for 10 years or more. The only real critique is that the power button is still hidden around the back. But overall, the new look has been widely praised. What to expect from the M5 chip? So what happens when the M5 arrives? Let's start with the base chip. The current M4 has a 10-core CPU, 6 efficiency cores, 4 performance cores, and a 10-core GPU. With the M5, most analysts believe Apple will stick the same core counts but deliver 25–30% performance gains thanks to a more advanced architecture and smaller fabrication process. The GPU could finally see its first real bump in years, potentially jumping from 10 cores to 12 cores. That may not sound huge, but it would be the first time since the M2 that Apple increased the graphics horsepower in the entry-level Mac Mini. On the memory side, Apple recently set 16 gigabytes as the new minimum across the Mac lineup, so that's here to stay. Expect configurations of 16 gigabytes, 24 gigabytes, and 32 GB. Where Apple might finally make a change is in storage. The base 256 gigabytes feels cramped in 2025, so there's a real chance the M5 Mac Mini could start at 512 gigabytes. If that happens, Apple could still keep the $599 price point, making it an even better value. The M5 Pro Mac Mini. Now let's step up to the M5 Pro version. The current M4 Pro has a 14-core CPU, 10 performance, 4 efficiency cores, and up to a 20-core GPU. For the M5 Pro, Apple might increase the CPU further, possibly to 12 performance cores plus 4 efficiency cores, giving it even more raw power for pro workflows. On the graphics side, the GPU could scale up to 22 cores, which would provide a nice incremental boost for creative users who need extra GPU muscle. Memory options probably won't change much. The M5 Pro would continue starting at 24 gigabytes, with options up to 48 gigabytes or 64 gigabytes. If the base M5 model gets 512 gigabyte storage, then the M5 Pro could easily start at 1 terabyte, which feels far more fitting for a professional desktop. Pricing would likely stay in the same ballpark, with the M5 Pro Mac Mini starting at around $1,399. Release timeline 2025 or 2026. Here's where things get a little tricky. Early reports suggest the M5 chip will first appear in the iPad Pro in 2025, followed by a possible update for the Vision Pro headset. However, MacBooks powered by M5 chips are not expected until early 2026. That leaves the Mac Mini in a gray area. As of now, reliable sources like Bloomberg's Mark Gurman haven't mentioned an M5 Mac Mini at all. That suggests Apple could delay its update until late 2026 or even skip the M5 entirely and move straight to the M6 generation. With rumors of an OLED MacBook Pro in 2026, it's possible Apple wants to line up a bigger, generational leap across the Mac lineup, rather than doing a smaller refresh in between. Final thoughts. So what's the takeaway here? If Apple does release an M5 Mac Mini, expect a performance bump of 20–30%, a possible GPU increase to 12-core storage starting at 512 gigabytes, and the same compact redesigned chassis introduced with the M4 for the M5 Pro Mac Mini. We could see a A CPU upgrade to 16 total cores, 12 performance, 4 efficiency, up to 22 GPU cores, standard 24 GB RAM, configurable to 64 GB, and base storage of 1 TB. The biggest unknown is timing. Will Apple squeeze it into late 2025, push it into 2026, or skip it altogether in favor of the M6? That's what makes this such an exciting topic to follow. So now I want to hear from you. If Apple does release an M5 Mac Mini, would you consider upgrading? Or are you waiting for something bigger like the M6 or the rumored OLED MacBook Pro? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to hit the like button. It really helps the channel. And of course, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss any of my future Apple updates, leaks, and comparisons. Thanks so much for watching. I appreciate your time, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care and bye for now.